All right, in this video, we're going to talk about functions in JavaScript. We're going to start out by looking over here at a web page where I've written the lyrics to a song. So I don't know if you know anything about songwriting, but songs typically have three parts. They have a verse, they have a chorus, and they have a bridge. And there's a typical pattern that a song follows. The verses are these pieces where the lyrics change, but the melody stays the same. And then the chorus is that hook, that thing that you're going to hear every time, the part that's going to typically get stuck in your head. Now, in this song, chorus changes a little bit, so we're going to cheat a little bit, and we're going to say that the chorus is always the same. You'll see the code for this over here. Um, so what I want to do is I want to write JavaScript to make this chorus appear. But the problem is that I'd have to write all that JavaScript here, and I'd have to write all that JavaScript there, and I'd have to write all that JavaScript there, which defeats the purpose of, I can just have it in HTML. So we're going to talk about functions. Up until this point, if I have a script tag here, anything that I write here, alert, hello, happens automatically when the page runs. But there are times that we want to have scripts sitting there waiting for the user to do something before they run. To do that, we write what's called a function. I may use the terms function and method interchangeably, but we write a function. So I'm going to write function. And just like a variable name, I can give a function a name, and it follows the same rules. It has to start with a letter. It has to be made of letters, numbers, and underscores, and it can't start with a number. So I'm going to call this function test. It gets a set of parentheses and it gets a set of curly braces. So now if I take that same alert hello and I write it in there, now it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen until somewhere in JavaScript I call the function test. Now it happens. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to write a function called chorus. And I'm going to take this set of code and I'm going to paste it all in there. And I'm going to wrap all of that in document.writes. Let me just finish setting these up. Here we go. All right. So now I have a function. It's called chorus, and what it will do is it will write the chorus. And of course, when I run it, nothing happens because the function doesn't happen until it's called. So the next thing that's going to happen is I'm going to delete all of the choruses that I've output so far. And we'll take a look at it, and you'll see that they're all gone. And now where those choruses were, I'm going to add a script tag. And I'm just going to call chorus function. And now there's one chorus back. And I can do things like, I could come down here and I could just do this twice. One there, and I can put one here, and then it all comes back. Or let's take those away for a second. All right, we'll take those away. Or what I could do is I could write a script here, and I can write a for loop. It's just going to run 2 times, and it just calls chorus, right? And I can document.write the BR tag there, and then I get that same setup that I had before. So now, if something were to change in the chorus, for example, I'm missing these 2 exclamation points. I save that, And notice they're not here, and they're not there, and they're not here. And now when I run it, that those exclamation points appear in all the places because every time I call course, it's coming up and it's executing this line of code. I'm going to write another function here, and I'm going to call it end of song. And all this is going to do is document.write an H2. It says end of song. And then down here at the end of the song, I write one more script. And in it, I call end of song. Now when I run it, there it is. It runs right there at end of song. We can do a lot more with functions um, than just outputting information. So let's make a new file here, and I will save that as functions.html. And I'm just gonna, let me just get set up here. All right, now you can write your functions anywhere that you want. I tend to write them here in the head, but again, they can go anywhere that they want, that you want. So what I'm going to do here in the body is I'm going to write a script, and in that script in the body, I'm going to ask a user, let's see, var change in x equals parse int window dot prompt. What is the change in x? And then var change in y. And then what I can do is I can send that information. Well, I can actually just do this right up here in the function. So let's just do this. We'll do a function, call it slope. And in there, I'm going to ask them what is the change in x, what is the change in y, and then I'm going to document.write change in y divided by change in x. And then down here, I can just call what's the change in x? It's 5. What's the change in y? It's 6. The slope is 1.2 because 6 divided by 5 is 1.2. Now, it seems like nothing's happening because this is no different than it was before because we're writing this function and then we're automatically calling it. There's going to be a difference tomorrow when we start talking, or in the next lesson when we start talking about events. And then we're going to have things that trigger these functions instead. So, for example, I can put a button here that says click me, and then I can use an event called slope. And so now when this page loads, not in the script. Now when this page loads, I see a button, nothing happens. That slope method isn't happening. But when I click the button, then the slope method happens. It asks me for the change in x and the change in y again, and now it gives me the 1.2 answer again. So that function was holding until I created an event. We're not quite there right now. Right now, all I want you to do is work on writing functions. So again, it's going to seem kind of silly that you're writing code up here and then calling it down here just so that it happens but it's the process of writing a function and making it do the things that you want. So just to talk about what you should do from here out on CS1, um, your JavaScript, we're going to methods intro. And on the methods intro, there's, here's more examples. Um, and then you're going to go in and you're going to do some of the practice problems here. You're going to just do level 1 practice problems, just level 1 practice problems. So each time it's going to be empty parentheses, and inside you're going to ask for input, you're going to do something, and then you're going to output. We're going to change that in our next lesson, where we talk about events and how to get information from a user in a different way than we've done before. So hopefully that helps, and good luck on your methods practice problems level 1, and I will talk to you next time.